If only there was dating advice that doesn't suck. I've paid thousands of dollars from world renowned coaches, and I've concluded that, honestly, most of them are just a bunch of morons. They completely miss the most important thing in dating. And I'm going to show you exactly what that is because once you see it, everything that hasn't worked starts to make sense. You're probably one of two guys. The first guy gets dates, maybe even regularly. He has decent conversations, he makes her laugh, she seems interested, and then after the date, crickets. Messages on read, never heard from again. Rinse and repeat, copy paste over and over and over again. And you have no idea what happened. The second guy has been burned enough times that he's just stopped trying. He tells himself that he's focused on other things like career, gym, money, that if he can just get these things dialed in, then he'll be ready to date again. To him, dating feels like a game that he just can't figure it out, and he's kind of just tired of playing. Both of these guys have the same problem. So, here's what nobody is telling you. You've probably tried some version of the following. Dating apps optimize, you've improved your photos, you've read all kinds of books, you've watched tons of videos, maybe even paid for coaching. You've put in a genuine effort and got inconsistent results at best. The standard explanation is that you did something wrong. Maybe you used the wrong opener. Maybe you texted her wrong or it didn't have the right timing. You didn't lead her enough or in the right way. Maybe you were too available or too open. But here's what's actually happening. You've been performing. You've been performing a version of yourself that isn't sustainable or attractive. You've copied a strategy that's built for someone else with a completely different personality. When it works, you don't know why, so you can't repeat it. When it fails, you also don't know why, so you can't fix it. Most dating advice is built around one type of man, the type giving the advice. So, same perspective, same biases, same solutions, that all works for him. Maybe that's you, but statistically, probably not. When you apply advice that isn't you, the words don't sound like you. The behavior feels forced. Sometimes it works anyway, but you don't understand why. You can't repeat or improve because you don't understand what worked. You can't sustain what isn't you. This is why your results are inconsistent. Not because you're bad at dating, but because you've been speaking in someone else's voice. Here's the thing most coaches get wrong about attraction. They teach you to optimize for her reaction. So things like say this to get her to respond well, do this to create some kind of feeling, build tension, create mystery, demonstrate some kind of value. And all this assumes attraction is something you perform your way into, that if you just say or do the right things, that she will miraculously find you attractive. The right woman isn't attracted to what you do, she's attracted to who you are, the kind of man you actually are, not the one you're pretending to be. So when a man is clear about himself, about who he is, women feel it. When a man is performing like he's putting on a mask, he's just doing the things that he needs to do to be attractive to her, women feel that too. This is the difference between results that feel good and results that feel hollow. And I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. It's the difference between a connection that grows and one that falls apart after one date. The thing that most coaches never address is one simple thing, and that is context. They apply the same advice to two different men, and it produces two completely different results. So, for instance, text less to create mystery. It works well for a naturally reserved man, but it feels like a game to a guy who likes to communicate openly and texts a lot and is very talkative. Be the most dominant guy in the room is natural for some guys, but it's a costume for someone else. Don't show too much interest or too much intent. This is useful calibration for some, but it creates detachment and avoidance in others. The advice isn't always wrong. It's just not built for you. So what actually moves the needle are three things. Number one, identity, who you actually are, not who you pretend to be. Compatibility, understanding yourself and the kind of woman you're actually suited for. and narrative, the story that you're projecting and whether it matches who you really are or not. This is the framework that I call VSN. I'm not going to break it down fully here. That's a completely different video, but the short version is this. When those three things are aligned, something shifts. You stop getting dates that go nowhere. You stop attracting women that you're not actually excited about. You stop wondering why it works sometimes and not others. I spent years trying to solve this the wrong way. Pickup phase, coaching phase, optimization phase. I went through all of it. And the pattern I kept finding was the same. The times that things actually worked weren't the times that I said or did something specific. They were the times that I stopped trying to engineer the interaction and I just showed up as myself. It's not a more confident version of myself, and it's not necessarily an even more dominant version of myself. I was just me. It was free. It was easy. I was myself. That's not an easy thing to hear when you're looking for a system, when you're looking for the magic bullet, the thing that's going to solve all your problems. But it's the most honest thing that I can tell you. So, what's the first step? Well, you got to figure out where your alignment is actually breaking down because it's going to be different. Every guy is different. Most men don't know the answer to at least one of these things. What kind of woman are you actually compatible with? Not who you're attracted to, but who you're actually suited for. What narrative are you projecting to women without realizing it? And where's the gap between who you actually are and the person you're coming across as? I built a free assessment to answer exactly these questions. It takes only about 10 minutes, and it maps exactly where your VSN alignment is strong and where it is quietly holding you back. It's going to tell you something about yourself that you probably didn't realize for years and years. Most men find at least one blind spot they've been carrying without even knowing it. When you find it, you stop feeling dating is a game that you can't figure out. And you start to understand what's actually been happening, where it's all rooted. This assessment is free when you sign up for the newsletter. I'll put a link in the description. The right woman isn't attracted to the best version of someone else's strategy. She's attracted to a man who knows who he is. So stop performing. Stop trying to copy. Stop trying to copy the coaches, copy the lines and the behaviors. Stop optimizing for a woman you were never right for to begin with. Get clear on who you actually are, and the rest will follow from there.